Good morning, guys. Well, we're back. So I was sticking with the camping theme this week, and I found some activities that are good fine motor, a little bit of cutting, a little bit of nature walk involved. But the first activity I got to stick with the camping theme, it's actually kind of fun. I tried it with some of my friends the other day and they absolutely loved it. So you're gonna need some little marshmallows and some toothpicks. And what I had the kids do was use the toothpicks and put the marshmallows on the toothpicks. You can make letters. The big thing I would like is if you guys as adults could make something and see if you can't get them to try and imitate what you do. Even if it's something as simple as putting two toothpicks through one marshmallow, just see if they can imitate it. The other thing we want to look for is them to be able to use two hands together and again, the little pincer grasp. My friends yesterday were making shapes. So you can make letters. We made letters. So, I mean, the big thing is to see them do these and if they can imitate you. Yeah, one of my friends yesterday built a huge, they started with a square and then a cube, and then they just kept building with it. So they're kindergartners, so not too much older than our kids. So that was an actually really fun activity. The kids liked it, so I thought, sticking with the marshmallow theme. Hold on, I think the sun's coming through. Okay. Better. Yeah, the kids really enjoyed it. And as long as they're using the pincer grasp, using two hands together and building, some of my friends will think this is great. Other friends will have a hard time with it, but it's fun. So that's one activity this week. The other activity to keep with our camping theme is I made a fire. So what you're gonna need for this is I actually went out in the backyard because I basically live in the woods, and I picked up some sticks. I did not have any brown paper, but I did have brown paper bag. So I ended up using that. I have a piece of paper, it's kind of thick, only because of the paint. I used the paint I had. I have some gold paint, some orange paint, and some red paint. And you'll need a straw. If you don't have straws and you're not going out to Dunkin' Donuts, you can also finger paint. Miss DuPont has sensory issues with fingers. I don't like wet things on my hands. I know, kind of weird. But anyway, so this is actually really fun, and my suggestion to you is to either do it outside or put newspaper or something on the table, because I just managed to get paint all over the place. And I just refinished my table, so I have to get it off. So, all right, let's get started. So what I did was, you can do the wood first. I did the fire first. I think it was easier that way because then I could place these where they needed to be. So basically what I did was I took my red paint and I just made lines on the paper. Again, this is messy, but it's fun. We don't realize that a lot of kids can suck through a straw, but when you tell them to blow, it's not, sometimes it's kind of funny. So again, I used different paints and just made lines, and then the fun part. So like I said, I suggest it's more of an outside activity than an in activity because it gets messy. So then what I did was I just blew. And again, it's very messy. I put a little bit too much paint. You can do a little paint and then add. Just try and make it so they're in line so it gives them a head start. So then after that, I have my brown paper bag that some of my friends are still snipping. Some of my friends are cutting in a forward motion. So I just basically cut my bag just long enough to make the logs on the bottom. And then just, you might have to do hand over hand. I would definitely draw a line and then do hand over hand with them, because then they're gonna get used to seeing that line and knowing they're cutting on the line. So then I just took my glue and I glued them on in that shape, in you know, the shape of the bottom of the fire. And here's the other thing that the kids are gonna really like is, I hope my sticks work. When I got my sticks, I actually broke them. This one's not a good one, but this one is. I broke them, and that's good too. That's a good bilateral coordination, hand strengthening activity that they can do. And then I glued them on. So this is my finished. So you have 2 activities to do. My plan was I was gonna build a fort this morning and do this activity in the fort, but then I realized how much of a mess it was, and I said, nope, I have to do this at the table. So, but I encourage you to let the kids build a fort. We all did it when we were kids. They get to use their imagination. They get to use motor planning, problem solving. I can remember my brother and I used to take the cushions off the couch, and then we put blankets all over it. And then of course my mother would come in and we'd be in some trouble, but it was fun. And it's something you can do in the house. If it's too hot outside, or, and then read stories. You can never read too much. So those are my activities for the week. I'm going to also post some, I found a really cool camping sensory bin. Sensory bins are amazing because not only can they just get to play with that, but you can add things to it. Use tongs, use tweezers, use, I have the tongs I bought at the dollar store, and I'll pretty much everything I get at the dollar store. So those are our activities for this week. Have fun. I think next week might be beach, so we'll have a cool beach activity. And I'll have some beach sensory bins. So have fun, send me some pictures, and have a good week.